Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So before I dive into this spread over here, I am really loving so much of what is going on. I'm going to show this up to you, like I'm going to bring it up to the camera. But before I do that, I just want to like show you a few of the other portraits that I have done. So this one over here, I started up building the layers, but I did not start it in an abstract way like I did with this. And you can see the difference. Like over here, I just went in, I wasn't looking at a portrait. I was just like going for the composition, the lines, the colors, etc. And then I put my figure over top of it. But this one, I sketched out the figure first, and then I started building up the layers. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is because there isn't just one way to do your portraits, to build up layers, to tell your stories, create texture, etc., etc. There are just a myriad of ways. Like you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just kind of see what you want to do. And actually, with this particular spread, I thought I was going to build up my layers in an abstract way for like, you know, 3 or 4 layers, cover everything up, and then go in and put the figure. But then I decided that no, I don't want to do that. So, you know, just because you set an intention, it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Like you can always be open to things changing. And one of the things I've been doing is I have been conversing with my paintings. I've been, you know, like speaking it out loud. As weird as that sounds, when I went to Oaxaca, Connie Solera said that, you know, this is a practice of hers that she does. She communicates with her paintings. And I know when I first heard that too, I was like, oh my God, like I've gone to museums. I have absolutely conversed with paintings in my head, of course, you guys. I'm not going to be sitting there talking to a painting out loud in the museum, but I have absolutely, I've talked to paintings, you know, conversed with them in my head, but I had never at that point, this was about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, I had never done that to my own work. So when Connie told me about that, when she told us, the class, we were on a retreat in Oaxaca, when she talked about it, I started doing it, and I'm doing it more and more now. And it is bringing up so much direction for me where I'm learning how to paint more intuitively. So I thought I was going to work on many layers in an abstract way and then put my figure, but then I started like conversing with my art. I started writing about it in my studio log, and I decided, no, I want to put the figure down now. And this one over here, I did the figure, and then I decided I wanted to go for more depth. I didn't like the way it was. It was lacking kind of like that deepness and that emotion that I was going for, the contrast in values, etc. So then I just went in and I put my indigo ink. I covered up the eyes. It's still a work in progress. I'm still working on it, but I'm building up my layers here too, but I'm doing it in a little bit of a different way as well. So each of these, there are 3 you know, portraits, mixed media portraits from my 100-day project, but I've approached each a little bit differently. So I just wanted to point that out because, you know, you will have your own way of working as well, and as you should. So these are just kind of like ideas for inspiration, etc. And not to be, you know, like, oh, this is the only way to do it. Absolutely not. So, oh, I'm gonna bring this up closer. Like, look at that, you guys. Like, I am just loving so much of this already. Like, I don't even want to cover it up. So, because I am loving so much of the abstract qualities in this piece, I am thinking, I don't know yet, but I'm feeling like maybe this portrait is going to be more abstracted. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's going to be like the portraits I've done this, you know, like my 100-day projects. I don't think it's going to be kind of along this vein. I think it's going to be like a little bit different. I'm kind of feeling it. So my issue right now is I want to keep some of the background. Like, I'm really loving this gold here. I'm loving this piece of like my tea soaked collage. I'm just loving so much of it that actually don't want to cover it up. And I know when I work in my Painting the Feminine art journal with Connie, she can keep the background busy and then also keep the figure busy, but that just doesn't, I don't know how to do that without it turning into a big mess. So yeah, that's kind of concerning me. I don't know, like I don't want to cover up pieces that I want to keep, but I don't want everything to be like too busy as well, you know? But I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of like be in the moment, listen to my intuition and see what it wants to do. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to start building up the layers of the face. And like, I really am loving this, but it's right where the eye is going to be. So this is going to be kind of interesting. Like if I draw an eye over top of this, but I want to keep this piece here, which I really love, by the way. And even this piece over here, I really love this piece of collage. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. So what I'm thinking is I may like close her eyes, because then I might be able to keep more of the, like I might be able to keep more of the collage, I think. And, so I hope that me talking through my process is helpful, you guys. Like I don't want to be rambling on about nothing, but I do think it's important to kind of explain like what I'm thinking and my process, because just say when I was in Oaxaca, for instance, and you know, Connie talked about how she converses with her art. Like to her, that might not have been a big deal. It might have just been like, oh, you know, that's just what I do. And to me, it was a huge deal. Like it changed everything for me, because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I've conversed with you know, other like artist paintings in, you know, when I've seen them in museums and what have you, but I've never thought to do that of my own art. So, you know, maybe to Connie, that was no big deal. It was just like a matter of course. But to me, it was like the biggest deal. And it really did help me out. And it really did change my art incredibly, made it more deeper, you know, strengthened my visual language, etc., etc. So I hope that me talking through my process is helpful, you know, because it's like just giving you a different perspective on things. Because I don't want to be rambling on just about nothing, but I'm just gonna like kind of put some like block in the hair over here. Ooh, and I love that juiciness. See, now things are starting to kind of shape up here, you guys. I'm really loving this. But it's still like, is like, I want to retain the energy. I have a heavy hand, you guys, and sometimes, a lot of times actually, I'll cover things up that I don't want to cover up, and I don't know why I do that. And I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to stop myself. And even like with colors, I can have a heavy hand. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be more subtle, which is why that, you know, when I work on my with my values rather than colors, I'm leaning more into not focusing so much on color, because I can have a heavy hand. It's, you know, it values like allows me to be more restrained, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm just gonna kind of go like so. And I don't want this to turn into a big muddy mess. Like I want it to dry naturally here. So I might post this video, like when I think that the video is too short, I might, like I'll post like 2 of it in a day, because I do want this to dry naturally. See, and I'm making this transparent so you can still see the collage that's over there. Like you can still see the writing and everything. I don't want to make it opaque. Ooh, now see some of that, some of the black, it from the hair, it went onto the forehead, which I didn't really want that to happen. Okay, let me see here. I'm just gonna blot that out. Okay, you guys, I think I am going to like stop this video because I want this to dry naturally. I don't want things to start bleeding into the face. I'm wondering if I should work on the background. No, I'm just going to leave that for right now because I have to think about what do I want to do with the background, because I want to keep some of this stuff, but obviously I can't keep all of it because then the dress is not going to stand out. Like, part of me wants to cover the whole background into a solid color, but then part of me wants to like make a sun or make something over here where I can actually keep like parts that I like. But anyways, you guys, these are questions for me to kind of ask myself and kind of like work through in my mind. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I will see you in my next video, and I hope that this has been helpful.